performs on the field.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second week of the Mythic League. My name is Rap Terror, here with Torres for our first game of the day, H Block versus Team B Boop. How you doing today, Torres?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm ready for get these games underway, especially this draft.
Oh, I am too. This is my first time on the Mythic League for this season, so I'm really excited to see what these teams bring out. I've been seeing some really cool stuff in the Heroic League, and I'm ready to see it just taken to the next level here.
Yeah, of course. Being with our Mythic League, being the higher rank, having more skill cap, everybody being a little bit more mechanical and just a little bit more macro knowledge. I'm excited to see what these champion pools and what these team comps put together on a good macro level is actually going to succumb to.
Yeah, and it's already off to a pretty standard start, I think, for this level. We've got a Heck Room coming in. I'm expecting we'll see an Udyr handshake there. You know, they are the two strongest junglers in the game right now, by far.
Yeah, I mean, the jungle meta right now is like a whole bunch of viable junglers, but a couple that stand out above the rest. And it looks like Elise might be picked up from the R1. Not something I typically see. Normally, once the blue side picks up the Hecarim, you normally see something like an Udyr, maybe even a Lilia, even though she's a little bit weaker. But it looks like they opted into Elise.
Yeah, not something you would normally expect. I'm guessing maybe they're going for like a pick mid lane, or maybe like something like a Syndra that you can just get a double stun on and pretty easily, and then just pile onto a target, try to get that ahead. Maybe even like a Silas or like a Yone, something like just piling on. But it's actually going to be an Anivia. Ooh, it's spicy draft already.
Yeah, I mean, with this, the Anivia and the Elise are kind of weird here. But I saw the Elise instead of the Udyr or like something else, like the Lilia. I was expecting a Renekton because a lot of these bruiser top laners are kind of just in the meta right now, and Renekton kind of just like dumpsters them, especially if the Elise was already picked. But it looks like they opted into picking their mid laner first for the R2. And then we'll see what HBK responds with, probably by picking their mid laner. It looks like it is Victor being picked up.
Okay, I'm gonna guess then that since they're gonna try to grab maybe their top laner here. I mean, they could still get the Renekton. It's still up on the board. That would be a solid pick. Hecarim, Renekton, Victor is a very solid core to build around. It'll be pretty hard for B-Boop to get through there. Maybe even see something like, I don't know, the Scion. Scion would be good too. Support actually going to be the pick up here. I'm guessing unless we go old school with the top Nautilus. Oh, that'd be a joy to see. But I'm going to guess that's support.
Yeah, I mean, through HBK, it's pretty standard stuff. I mean, Hecarim's being one of the most picked champions. Victor's actually seeing some competitive play, so not that surprising. A lot of zone control, a lot of wave clear. And the Nautilus probably being picked up by HBK, not knowing much about their champion pools. It looks like Team Baby was actually trying to pinch out the support role, so I guess it's good before the second rotation, just in case he gets banned out.
Yeah, it's true. It's very, very true. You know, good to get that right now. Get a nice early start to that. B-Boop gonna just grab their AD carry there, so it's gonna be probably very differential bans here. Top lane bans coming through so far with B-Boop. I'm guessing they have a pretty specific pick they're looking for if an Ornn ban is coming out. But I don't know, what are you expecting to see in this second phase for B-Boop at least? Like, they have an very interesting comp going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, they really have like this top-centered, not really top-centered, but like a dive-focused comp where they also have wave clear and stuff and scaling for late with the Anivia and the Xayah. I expect something more of a bruiser top. Something maybe like even a Camille on Team Baby side, even like a Renekton still, just so they can have some dive and put some pressure onto the top side of the map. But honestly, anything could go. As it looks like they're just opting to ban out HBK's top side, getting rid of the Ornn and the Garens.
Yeah, Garen, honestly, interesting. Now I at least haven't seen much Garen in a while, ever since, you know, the terrors of Yuumi Garen jungle, or actually Yuumi Garen top lane. It's just kind of Yuumi Garen in general, just gone. I haven't seen much of him. So interesting ban. We'll have to see what they pick. Looks like it'll be their last pick of this rotation. And it's going to be of this phase, and it's going to see what H Block grabs here to kind of counter that back. See what they've got in store.
Yeah, I mean, something I want to point out too is that Team B-Boop ran out two top laners, and they're also have their red side, so they also have last pick and are able to choose a counter for the top side, no matter who it is. But
Yeah.
also with the Team People, they chose Jono as a support, which it's very questionable, as their comp is more of skill for weight. I get they want Peel for the Xayah, but I would have liked to see maybe even the pairing of Rakan, even though it's not that great right now. Maybe even an Alistar.
Yeah, I think that would have been a little bit stronger. You know, Xayah, like, she has her own disengage, her own peel. She really needs more of something to help her set up a fight. It's something that she needs time to get her feathers down to then root her to just rip them back through somebody. So that seems a little strange. As we're seeing, Baby looks like it's probably going to be a Shen, which I actually think is a surprising pick. You know, I mean, I guess cross map plays are good, but I'm not sure if that's going to do very well into the Camille right now.
Yeah, I really don't think it's going to do very much into the Camille. I get it. You're picking a top side. You're just playing weak side for your team. But if you've already picked the Elise with the first pick, I think choosing your Bruiser top, as I said already, Renekton, which I'm obviously highly favoring since I've said it 3 times. But I think picking something and picking on that Camille early was going to be part of your win con, because at this point, what lanes can this Elise gank?
I should probably gank mid. You know, the Victor hit the cocoon, then Nivea hit the Q with an E. That's probably like 2/3 of its health just right off the bat. That's probably, I'm expecting, where we'll see focus. Maybe a bit of top, you know, between these. So looking at these right now, I personally think H Block's got this in the bag right now. Who do you think, though, has it?
Oh, I definitely think it's H Block has it in the bag, but I mean, we could be proven wrong. Team Beat Boop can maybe just pull out something crazy we just don't know about.
It's going to be the Janna carry. I believe that's what it's going to be. But we'll find out as we get on to our first game of week 2 of the Mythic League. HBK versus Baby. And it's already off to an interesting start. You see that we're seeing the Nautilus going up top side. I'm going to guess that they're going to expect an invade since this is such a cheesy comp, but they actually might be prepping one themselves, it looks like. And Jaffe's out here alone. He's got spotted. He does spot that invade, so they're going to back off. And yeah, I think they're just gonna play a pretty standard start. We're gonna see some, you know, just pretty standard play, I'm guessing, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of peculiar invade from Team H Block. They send out 3 people towards the top side of the map, and then they have their bot lane cover up, making sure no one invades onto the red side of the map. The whole point of that invade wasn't really to get a kill, but more or less just to get a summoner spell, maybe spook him out.
Yes. You know, I'm interested. Actually, I was thinking about this. Camille actually really might be the target for this matchup, because I mean, if you think about it, Shen can get the taunt to start it off before she can even get away, and then you drop the cocoon, like it kind of like guarantees the cocoon shot, and that might actually be enough, especially at like level 2 or level 3, for them to actually pick up a kill and get the Shen ahead. And as we know, a head Shen is something that is a little obnoxious to deal with. Obviously, like, it's not the strongest into Camille, but, you know, get him that early lead, he can probably easily just, you know, keep that as an even pace there, prevent the Camille from roaming around the map.
I mean, that's something you'd expect. I'd agree with that thinking if we were in the Heroic League, but at the Mythic level, I think that these players are smart enough to know that Elise is probably starting move up and will gank, know the gank timing well enough, and I don't think that Camille should be putting herself in that kind of position.
Yeah, she's actually on the bottom side right now looking for a gank. Going forward, the Flash Cocoon, it does miss on to the Sivir. Going forward, Toxic going to get rooted up by the Nautilus, and they're just going to get back out. That was the cheese play. We're kind of a cheesy, sneaky play we were looking for. Unfortunately, though, it does not get anything out of it. And actually, Toxic's going to get delayed on his back. So, hey, it's going to have some pretty free reign for a minute or two.
Yeah, I mean, we get some action, something a little unorthodox that you'd see from a jungler, especially the Elise, skipping her Gromp, just going straight to blue, something typical like a Nunu level 2 gank. Really just, the point of that gank was, I mean, obviously what it could have gone towards a kill. It's to relieve some pressure off of that lane where Xayah and Janna kind of just want to stay alive in that lane, kind of just absorb any resources that Team H Block comes down to. And now that the flash is blown on the Sivir, not the flash, but the heal, at least the summoner spell, is taken, it's going to make their job a little bit easier.
Yeah, and the flash actually blown on the Elise too, so she's going to have to try to be a little bit sneakier, try to bait them a little bit farther forward if she's going to want those ganks to work out, at least for a little bit. So we see pretty full clear actually for this Hecarim. Everything's kind of stable position. The Shen actually right now getting a pretty nice early advantage on this Camille. Jaffe doing actually really good so far in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, this is also just Camille trying to survive the lane.
Wait, hang on. We got an engage onto Fang. He's going to flash out, and ooh, Valkyrie getting very low there. And Hayat and Jaffe are going to fight over that scuttle. Little bit of a skirmishing there.
Yeah, just a little bit of a skirmish. I mean, Jaffe did have the lane push, so the Camille couldn't really walk over. But, I mean, at the same time, the Elise is actually very far behind. She had to back after the blue, didn't end up getting to her topside camp until around 240, I want to say. Ends up getting the red. Saw that her Shen was actually fighting the Hecarim and Camille and was worried. Walked over off of the Krugs and is just now taking them. 4 minutes in, she is down 16 CS to this Hecarim.
Yeah, and Elise can farm pretty fast, but I mean, Hecarim can just as well, if not easier. So being down like this is not a good position to be in against him. Elise is kind of like Hecarim, but I feel a little bit more intensive if you need to get that early lead. If you aren't getting a couple kills or assists on yourself, you're going to have a hard time keeping up. Of course, like you've got the utility of the little spider shot, but outside of that, if you don't have any items under your belt, you're not going to really get much damage out of it. We're seeing pretty standard play across the map now. I want to talk about, though, in the mid lane matchup. We have seen quite a bit of trading going on there so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit of trading going on right now, but I think Wu is actually kind of just misplaying his waves. I think that the Victor is actually having a fairly easy time into this lane, especially because Elise did blow her flash already, so he knows where the gank threat is. And the Hecarim has been hovering the top side of the map, where she also knows where Team HBK already knows where the Elise has to path to. So he's playing on the opposite side of that map. As you can see him hovering on the left side of the map right now as Elise is on the top side. He's actually playing the lane very well.
Yeah, and it looks like he's setting up for something right there. See him sneaking off into that bottom bush right now. They're going to back up, fake towards the dragon, it looks like. Try to bait them out farther forward. If they can get this Janna or this Xayah out just far enough, they're not level 6. They can be engaged on pretty easily. The Nautilus spotted out with the tornado, and they're just going to back off that. Leroux just hitting 6. He's actually got the lead right now onto Future. Had it for a moment. But, this is the point where both these champions, they start to spike a little bit. Their ults are very potent. Vegeta takes a little combat with Jaffe. They're just going to trade that out. That was actually quite a bit of damage for only just having her starting item on her.
Yeah, I mean, what Camille's trying to do now is honestly just survive her lane. She doesn't have a winning matchup into the Shen, from what I know, as long as Shen is taking short, small trades where he just procs his Q, gets some percent HP damage, and gets out. Because if Camille commits, she'll just probably end up losing. But it looks like Jaffe just goes in, just takes a little bit more. Gets
a little low. They both actually missed their stuns right there, and they're just going to awkwardly walk in a circle around each other and get out of that. That was a little silly of a play. Both of them looking for something. Toxic actually up here on the top side. He is 2 levels down on them, but he might be looking for something that's actually just going to back out of there, go back to his farm. He is still behind. He's only down about 9 CS, but he's got to start catching up. Level 6 not as important for for Elise, but you want to get those stats from the level up on you.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between this, even though they're only about 12 CS apart, Hecarim did get double crab, and more of his camps are up than Elise's. So she's effectively, when Hecarim's done with his camp, she should be almost level 7, while Elise is barely level 6.
Yeah, it's not on the great position to be in for right now. But if you're Team Baby, I want to know, where should you be trying to find your advantages right now? Obviously, your early little surprise play didn't work out. You've got kind of a stalemate across the map, a little bit of, I guess, a lead in the top side. Where would you look to try to push an advantage, try to get something rolling here?
At this point, your Elise, which is going to be your early game playmaker, has fallen too far behind on the Hecarim. Before level 6s came out from both the sides, I would have liked to see some more aggressive plays towards on the Victor instead early, maybe blow the cleanse, maybe blow the flash early. But at this point in the game, Team Beat Boop kind of just has to take a step back and just they're slowly going to bleed out and have to wait for a mistake from Team H Block.
Yeah, and Hayat does not spot that ward out. But I don't think they still saw him anyways. They're just kind of going to clear it out. They're going to get some vision, possibly look to set up for this dragon, look for a dive here. But now this is going to be a little going back around just to come in. Horse stops by to go, hey, you okay? Good. Okay, I'm out. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, Team H Block is jungler Hayat is really just covering for his lanes, which he's doing a very good job while farming. But at this point in the game, you're so strong, you should be able to just take that dragon. They're also playing a little cautious just because they don't know where the Elise is. But at this point, their lead is so big, I think they could just go for it.
Yeah, and that's a good first dragon to grab. You know, it's not like a mountain where you're going to need some later stats to get it. It is the Infernal, and we do see Future come down too. It looks like they're actually going to do a lane swap right here. The Sivir going up to the mid lane.
Yeah, a little peculiar lane swap. I don't think I've seen this since maybe like Season 4, Season 5. But that's all I can say about it.
I mean, I think I get it. Like, you know, the Sivir's got the spell shield, so you can't really hit her with a stun from Anivia. You've got a lot of wave clear, like even more than I think the Anivia, honestly, because of your W, and you can poke them while you're doing it. So you're in a really good spot, especially with the Nautilus. Like the Anivia has to play really far back. She can get like engaged on so easily, and the Victor, like, he could do pretty fine in the bot lane. It's not like there's a lot of engaged potential with this team. Janna's got a very telegraphed engage pattern. Zaya's not really going to engage anything. So yeah, I think it makes sense. They probably just want to get the mid lane turret down so they can start roaming around the map a bit more.
I get what they're trying to do with this lane swap, but I would have liked them to start the Herald instead of Hayat actually just farming his camps. The reason you do this lane swap is so you can push in the waves, and that because the Victor cannot die to the Zaya and the Janna lane as long as he stays back and just farms the wave. They just get the Herald and try to push the plates down. But because of this, since the bot lane is gone, this is what happens to Team Beepoop. They just take the dragon instead because of the numbers advantage.
Yeah, they get a free dragon, gets them a little bit further back into the game. Only a 400 gold difference, most of that coming from that early game right there. I don't think that's enough to really be too concerned. And actually, they are going to start the Herald, like you were saying. So they're at least going to get something out of this play. But yeah, like, feels like they aren't taking as much of advantage as we'd expect a team like with as good a lead as they started out with.
I mean, it's honestly just a lack of proactivity with both of these teams. And with that lane swap, it kind of just... If they didn't take the Herald immediately, if that was their play, they should have taken the Herald immediately, gotten the gold, gotten some plates down. Maybe even four-man dove top lane while the Shen was there and gotten the Camille, snowballed the Camille ahead if you're going to handshake the dragon. But they just ended up being indecisive, not doing it.
Yeah, and that indecisiveness, you know, like they do have the better scaling team, I think, but you know, you got here. If you're being indecisive and your teammate decides to suddenly just enemy team decides to turn it on, that can start making that snowball a little bit harder, especially for HBK. If a Camille falls behind, she does have a little bit of trouble, but I think this Herald, you know, get a couple little gold plate on there. I feel like they could have probably held that, but none of the lanes really anywhere near the free tower from 2 plates that you'd get if you dropped it low enough.
And it looks like Toxic Desire is making his way up topside, though.
Oh, he is. They're going to try to engage on the Jita. Jita trying to run away, gets the E to get out, but Toxic's still looking for something right here. He gets the cocoon. It misses. Jita goes in the ultimate. They're trying to chase him down. He's getting so low right now. He flashes to get out, and Jita's going to make it out alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's good patience from Jito. If you saw him, he used his Hextech Ultimatum to jump over the cocoon, but it looks like Anivia is coming in to maybe finish off that kill.
Oh, she is. She flashes forward for the E, and it's first blood going over to Luru on the Anivia, and now he trying to fight it, but he's getting so low, he's going to have to ult to try to get out of here. The Shen Diz ult to save. Now the Nautilus is here. He's taunted up too, trying to run away, gets the ult down himself. So 2 ults down. Toxic's looking to dive here possibly. They get the little spider down. Jaffe's going to tank up, but here comes the Sivir. She's running fast. She's looking for some frozen chicken here. She's going to make it some fried chicken as she burns that health bar down and takes a kill. Evens it up to 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, that play was pretty much the best thing Beep could ask for. Team HBK kind of made a mistake over diving, and Team Beep just kind of gets it. But I mean, the indecisiveness of when to dive and who to tank, there was just a miscommunication between Beep. They probably could have gotten 2 kills, but in the end, the Sivir roams up, and he's there in time to stop another dive.
Yeah, and on the other side, as we saw, you know, 4 people going to the top side, there's a lot of pressure from Fang, Overfang, and Valkyrie on the bottom, trying to get those turret plates, trying to get a little bit of a lead on this Zaya as they're going in onto Future right now, tanking a little bit for Fang. You can see they're definitely just trying to push this down as fast as they can. They know that the Hecarim isn't far enough out on the map yet that he's going to be able to gank them, and they can get a little bit more gold, but they're backing off now. They've got the pressure they've wanted. They've cost Victor most of that wave, and it's getting... We're going to see if Nautilus can get something here in the mid lane. He's looking for something, but I don't think he's going to find it. Lure's playing pretty safe right now.
Yeah, I think our next major fight is probably going to be around the next dragon, the mountain dragon being taken. It really adds a lot of good stats onto both teams. Both teams use this fairly well, but it's also going to be a deciding factor of where the gold is going to get swung. And if Team H Block gets this win, I expect them to snowball the rest of the game, despite them only being 1-1, being about 700 gold ahead. I think if Team Beep Boop dies and gets wiped in that fight, then they won't be able to have the golden experience to catch up.
Yeah. Now looking at this, because like you said, Mountain means we're going to get either Cloud Soul or Ocean Soul. If you're both these teams, I mean, at least on HBK side, I'm assuming you really want the Cloud Soul. You want the Hecarim to ult and the Victor to ult and the Sivir and just go flying at the enemy team. But if you're Team Baby, which one would you prefer to have in this case? Would you prefer that speed boost, or would you prefer like that extra healing for fights?
I think in these fights, I think the Cloud Soul would be better, despite them having an Elise, which doesn't really do much for the CDR side. I think being able to rotate around the map and having the CDR on the Janna and the Xayah ult, and the Shen ult if they're going to be making proactive plays, I think that the Cloud Soul would be better. But I mean, either way, if they get to Soul, I don't think either of them are a bad choice. I think those are two of my favorite Drakes in the game for Soul.
I agree. I'm personally a big fan of Infernal as well. Not as much Mountain, but at least we got one, as we're actually seeing Hayat going in. Toxic looking for a kill right here, and there goes the ultimate from Hayat. Ult comes out of Fang over Fang. He's trying to grab something here. They get the root up. He's going to grab Hayat. It looks like he does go down. Actually, it's going to be Valkyrie grabbing it. Fang has to flash and gets a barrier from Janna, and actually from Jaffe too. He's ulted to come into this. Toxic on the side didn't get a kill, but he did delay that fight just enough. He did prevent Idris from being able to join up with the team. And same with the Nautilus, as now the Dragon is getting started up. It is a 4v5 right now in favor of Baby. Jaffe looking for something. He gets the taunt onto the Camille. Trying to get a bit of extra damage there. Camille ults in, looking for Fang. Fang getting super low right there. He's going to go down. Valkyrie actually grabs a second kill for himself, though, to trade it. And now it's just 3. Hecarim coming back up. Nautilus actually going down side of the fight. And Future's looking for something. Same with Idris. They're just probably going to let this Dragon go, though. As Vision's getting cleared out, don't think they're going to fight it. Actually, on Luru. Okay, he didn't get caught out. He almost caught out Idris, and he almost himself went down with it. Now he's actually looking for Future. They're just continuing this fight, and he's actually going to grab Future on the side right there.
Yeah, I mean, Luru's just bodying these fools is all I can say. He's just walking up, zoning them out with the Anivia. Really just taking over this game.
Yeah, that was a very hectic fight, very split up. It felt like HBK wasn't sure on their calls who they were looking for. It felt like half the team wanted to just go towards the Dragon, the other half just wanted to go right over Fang, and that split cost them the Dragon, it cost them a couple kills, and it cost them that lead they had.
Yeah, it did cost them that lead. We'll see if my prediction's right. If whoever wins that fight will just swing the game. But I mean, from a draft standpoint, I do believe in Team HBK's draft, despite how they're playing right now. I do believe if this game goes late that they will win if the Soul isn't taken by Team Beep Boop. Because even if the Soul is taken by Team Beep Boop, I don't think they will end up winning the game. But we'll see what the time says about that.
Yeah, and HBK can at least take some solace in the fact that the Janna got 2 of those kills, so a lot of the gold on the support. I mean, as a support man, I like to have some gold on me, especially early on. Get your item finished. Moonstone is always great to have to start, but you really want that on your Xayah. You really want that on your Nivea. Your champions that need to get their items under the belt to scale ahead and get themselves into a lead over their opponent enough that you can just force the issue in a fight and take it out, win the game.
Yes, that's especially so. I mean, I play support a fair bit amount too, and it's always nice to have your one mythic. But past that, you honestly just feel useless in fights. As you'd rather have your carries have the gold. But
yeah, Nina taking a lot of damage right there, almost dies to the Anivia Janna combo. He's going to just get out there, flashes over the wall for escape, and that's the call to go for Herald from Baby.
Yeah, Nina's low. Just Future's up in the bot lane. Effectively be a 5v3. I mean, they just can't go for it. Maybe even just try for a steal. Kind of just let them know.
Yeah, the wall's
the wall just blocks off the Hecarim.
Yeah, and that's going to be the second Herald going down this game. We talked about this in the Heroic League earlier this week. First one, we're pretty sure his name's Shelly. Do you know what the second Herald's name is?
I have no idea.
Okay, so it is Shirley. You're right. Shirley, that as I'm being told. Hang on, Jaffe is getting engaged on right here. He's going to look for something back there. The Anivia comes in, trying to get some damage. Jita getting very low, and Jaffe is going to get out. Bottom mid turret actually going down while that's all going on. Baby getting the first one of the game and getting something down. There was actually second. Sorry, I forgot about the turret on the bottom side earlier. Herald not going to get that second charge quite off, and Baby's going to walk out happy they just got something out of that without losing anything.
Yeah, I mean, on the team of Team Beepoop, it almost seemed like Jaffe just did something illegal. He got out of there almost like no one could hit him after that. We were kind of just saving his life there.
Yeah, and he went back in too, so that was kind of crazy. Ooh, Luru and Jita fighting right now. The Hecarim goes over the wall, so does the Nautilus. The ult coming out from the Nautilus right here. And now Hecarim actually Jaffe ulting back in. Didn't even see that he'd pop something else right there. He getting kind of low. He's going to have to back out. Now it's just the Nautilus and the rest of Baby taking him down. Jaffe grabs himself a kill.
Yeah, I mean, Team Beepoop's kind of just getting away with murder. HBK just doesn't have the damage to finish off these players, and Wuru's escaped death quite a couple times already.
Yeah, him and Jaffe, that fight was basically this like one long extended fight. They both get low, and then the other comes in to save them. It's like, hey, bud, thanks for the save. Let me return the favor. And ooh, look at that, nice shiny little kill for all our trouble. And now another turret, all the outer turrets down for HBK, and they might lose their mid laner too. Fang going forward, he grabs the kill, and he's just gonna back and dance inside the Victor ult, but it actually might kill him. Oh, just barely misses him for the final tick.
Fang, you gotta love him, man. But I mean, that's what it'll be.
What a BM play. Oh, man, almost cost him his life. But, you know, he's got quite a bit of lifesteal on himself right now. He is running the shield bow. So, very good situation for him. He's going to be able to last longer in these fights. And Dragon up in 30 seconds. Can Baby grab this one too and put themselves on soul point?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Team H-Block kind of just has to either scale into the late game or just put all their eggs in one basket on the Sivir, who has now reached 2 items, and try to dive the enemy backline. If they can get the Anivia and the Xayah, the rest of the team effectively has no damage, but that's a big what if. Anivia has so much zone control, and so does Xayah with her feathers. It's just going to be too hard to just hard engage unless they're really out of position.
Yeah, and both top laners, they have their teleports. They can join this fight. There is no ult yet on the Shen, but it's almost up. Anivia getting that really low. Same with Fang over Fang. They're going to drag it out of the pit. Trying to grab it quick. Hecarim might try to ult over the wall. He is going to ult over, but it's going to go down. Actually, it gets stolen by the Sivir. HBK gets something, but Fang grabs Hayat for it. And now Jita is on the backs of that teleport. He's actually trying to get out of there. He's like, oh, I can't take this 4v1. Let's turn that around. They don't chase him, but that is the call to go right for the Baron.
Yeah, it looks like they're ping straight out to the Baron. Camille had base despite TPing in. It looks like they didn't expect the Baron call or something because she'd backed and now she's going towards the bot side of the map. It looks like the bot lane ADC are going to push out the mid lane, try to get something out of this.
Yeah, they do get the outer mid turret. They're probably going to get this inner one too right now. Baron not going down fast enough. They can just run over there to grab a kill. But the teleport coming in from Jaffe, he's looking for something, and it's just going to actually be to clear the wave and prevent that turret from going down.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of questionable TP, but I mean, if saving that tower is worth it in your book, I mean, by all means.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Baron too, so pretty solid position. They're 5,000 gold up now on HBK, and the fights are just not going in HBK's favor.
Yeah, I mean, I want to credit this, or like, I want to start explaining where this all started. I want to say this all started with that lane swap, really setting behind the bot lane and their mid lane. They kind of just screwed themselves over with that play and their indecisiveness, and that's where the game really just got flipped on its head. As Team Beepoop was playing from a deficit that whole time, but as soon as that lane swap went over, their laners were set behind on Team HBK, and Team Beepoop was able to stabilize themselves. Yeah,
and it's this, you know, Toxic got himself behind very early on with that failed gank bottom side. He fell probably at one point half the CS of Hayat in this matchup. But Hayat he didn't take advantage of that lead. Like we saw, he just went around farming, wasn't really looking for ganks, just trying to get this like big power farm going on. And he has like a 1 CS lead out of all of that. But like, does that really matter when your team is just getting blasted around the map? They're losing turrets left and right. They're probably going to lose this mid turret as the rest of Baby gathers up over there. You just got a Nautilus and a Sivir to defend it. It just feels like he needed to be a little bit more active on his ganks. He needed to get something, a lead somewhere for his team, as now he's getting engaged by Hayat. He's taking a lot. Gonna get out of there with a speed boost. I think the wall blocking him off, and Luru's continuing the hunt. He's gonna get out. It has to ult to get out of there, so his engaged potential is down. This mid turret gonna fall here for Baby, and now begins feeling a little bit of desperation for HBK right now, trying to just find something and losing out on all sides of the map right now in this 1-3-1.
Yeah, I mean, not to yank on Hayat's chain or anything, but I mean, from the build, it's looking like he's going for a bruiser type build, but I think he would have been way more effective if he had gone Chem Tank in this build. Just a little bit more tankier, as they need another frontliner. They already have a bruiser, and this Sivir has no frontline for it to effectively hit, as their auto attack range is already small.
Yeah, Nautilus, not a really big chunk on him. He's a pretty beefy boy right now. And he's gonna just back off. They did get that bottom turret. They're pressing on to the inhibitor turret. Future getting engaged on by Jaffe. Jaffe actually getting a good basic attack right there on him. And Baby, are they gonna continue this? Nah, looks like they're just gonna back off, try to get this get a little bit extra damage to these minions. It's gonna heal up though, so not the most worth thing. As Future's looking for Jaffe right here, but I think he knows better than to try to mess with his Shen.
Yeah, I mean, this whole time, I mean, Team Beat Boop has kind of just pushed their gold lead ahead due to the Baron buff. They're sitting at a 7k gold lead and kind of just shoving in these waves, and as the Baron wears off, they probably won't get much more out of this, but I mean, the gold lead is still there and apparent, and they'll probably fight at the next Drake.
Yeah, and they did, nice tornado from the Janna. They know that the Hecarim is on the top, so they're looking for something here. Why is Luru that far forward? He's going to get out. Actually, it's just a bait. It's for the Shen to get in, and now they've taken down the Nautilus, but Jaffe's going to die in retaliation. They do get the turret. The fight is broken out. They're looking for something. Sivir getting so low. She's going to go down. It's a double kill over for the Zenivia. Toxicity has to use his stopwatch, and now Luru is looking for something. The cleanse out from Future and the flash to get out of there. It's going to be an inhibitor down, and it is a 2-for-1 in favor of Baby. A turret and an inhibitor, and a chance to end this game very shortly as they head over for Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, there's almost kind of a disconnect from Team H-Block. I don't think any of them expected Luru to walk into the base and just stopwatch like that, but I mean, what I said earlier, I thought they were going to fight at the next Drake, but Luru has something else to say about it.
Yeah, he just walks right out. I was really confused. I really thought he was just throwing it there for a moment, but it's actually like a 2000 IQ play. He lets Jaffe ult on him before he goes golden, so the ult will still channel. It still goes through, and he basically is like a free ward for his tank to get there and buy him time to get a kill. Worked out great. Then they jumped on to Jaffe. They get to pick up the kill on the side of HBK, but the turret going down is the call. Let's go in. Let's pick up some more. And HBK stepped a little too far forward there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the gold difference is too much to make up for the draft difference. Team H-Block had a winning draft, but I mean, if they're going to... Not to say anything, but I mean, if they were going to play like this, I think the gold difference in Team Beat Boop's favor is just too much to overcome.
Yeah, it's already up to a 7,000 gold lead right now, or a little bit less than that for Baby. And at 26 minutes into the game, that's a pretty massive lead, if I do say. They did grab the dragon earlier. They are on soul point, and now they're on the hunt, seeing if they can find this Hecarim, getting some vision clearing. The Baron will be up in 40 seconds. This is, I think, the do or die fight moment for HBK.
Yeah, I mean, TB Boop had taken the bottom inhibitor from that last fight we were seeing. And it looks like Camille's just trying to stall the waves, try not to get it to crash because the Baron is spawning in 25 seconds. She does have TP, so she's going to shove that in as far as she can. And probably look for a flank TP or just a TP to go into the fight at the Baron when it goes up, if Team Beep decides to start it. But I mean, overall, if they take a straight on 5v5 with no one out of position, Team HBK will lose.
I agree. And right now, Jaffe's pushing in that top lane. All the wards are cleared out. There's actually one hiding up there in the top river bush. I don't know if that's going to be where Jita decides to make the call to go in. The rest of the team's here. Jaffe looking for Idris, but he's just going to just barely miss that and get out of there. I think he did burn his spell shield right there. They're on this Baron. HBK, you've got to decide now, is this the moment you make your stand, or are you just going to let this go for free again? Luru gets the wall down. He's got his ult too. It's a pretty dangerous place to pass. They either have to go around or use that blast cone. And there it's gonna be looking like HBK is not gonna even contest this. It's getting so low. Future is here. The teleport actually getting stopped by the Baron from Jaffe. It looked like he wanted to try to maybe make a play there, try to force this game. But they'll take the Baron. They'll take that consolation prize and get out of there. No big deal. And top lane is the name of the game now as they're looking to push that down. Just the Nautilus up here to defend against the world.
Yeah, I mean, something we didn't point out was that because the Camille left the bot lane wave early and couldn't push out another wave, when Team B-Boop started up the Baron, they saw the bot wave pushing in and waited for it to sink, which is why you saw them get off the Baron and get back on it. So they waited for the wave to sink so they would at least get some tower damage down, even if they didn't get the Baron.
Yeah, very smart macro play here from Team Baby. We thought this draft, like we said at the beginning, we're like, this is a very odd draft. Like they have to really work to try to make this work. And like they tried a proactive play early on. It didn't work. It felt like they were already down from the get-go. But smart plays and unfortunately just inactivity from HBK allows them to get back in. It allows them to find this position we find themselves now. 8,000 gold ahead. They found that dragon. They found that fight. And it's just been the baby show ever since.
Yeah, I mean, Team HBK had a great draft, as we've already said. And they kind of just let Team B-Poop do what they want with them. It just rolled over and just was put out to dry.
Yeah, and Dragon up in 1:20. It's gonna. I think actually, for it being Soul Point, HBK most certainly has to challenge this one. We thought it was the Baron, but that most certainly, if they get that Cloud Soul, it is going to be a nightmare to try to stop Baby. Those Anivia ults will prevent any way from going out. That Shen, he's going to ult in at some point and just go flying at the Sivir or the Victor and try to look for a pick. I think that's the stand. You have to make a stand at this point. And if not there, where is HBK? Do you make the stand?
Yeah, I mean, at Team HBK right now, I mean, they might even concede the soul and try to fight after they've given up the soul and the Baron has worn off. That might be their best chance. But I mean, it really will be their last chance to do anything. Because if they're going to fight with the Baron up right now, I see a 0% chance of them winning.
Yeah, they have a strong team fight comp. They are down, but they have got a couple items online. But they're just letting this turret go down. That Anivia ultimate, so much zoning coming out of it. Pushing Future off too. They're going to get their second inhibitor. The one on the bottom had respawned, but still mid lane pressure is good. Jaffe's on the top side looking to try to pressure this top turret, telling Future, hey, if you go for that, try to stop that dragon, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the inhibitor. I might even take this game. And now he doesn't have teleports. So he will not be able to join this fight if he doesn't run over here for Future. Now the dragon started up. No one out here from HBK. The Hecarim is nearby. He might try for a steal, but I don't think he's going to get here quick enough. The soul is going to go over to Baby, and the game is getting so close. They're looking for the Shen right now. Camille going forward. Nautilus looking for something. They're trying to slow down Jaffe. The flash ult forward to go for him. He is going to get knocked up, but and another ult actually coming in from Jita. This Shen, though, is so tanky. He gets the blast cone down. He's going to dash over and flash over the wall, and Jaffe escapes a 1v4. My God, that is a tanky Shen.
Yeah, I mean, while that was happening all on the top side of the map, Team Bipu was able to push in the bot wave, and they're looking to threaten this bottom inhibitor again.
Yeah, now that is 2 ultimates down. Actually, no, he just used his ult earlier, I think. But that's 2 ultimates down for HBK right now. 2 very crucial ultimates. The Nautilus ult to help engage, the Camille ult to separate someone out, and now Hiot's looking for something here. He's speeding up. This horse is looking for something, and he goes flying in, but he is all alone. This is not Stallion of the Cimarron. You can't 1v5 right here, my friend. And he's going to have to back out, limping away.
Yeah, I mean, really just kind of like a soul play at that point. Like, you think your team's right behind you, but in reality, you're 2 screens away.
Yeah, and with a flash E from Toxic, it's going to miss. Future is going to get out, and now comes the the Q from the Nautilus. Anivia getting solo. Luro, though, he's got the shield on him. He's resurrecting. Here comes Jaffe. They do grab the Anivia, but down goes the Nautilus. Sivir already down in this fight. Everyone getting pretty low on the side of HBK. This Xayah, Fang over Fang, just not touched at all in that fight. Yet he was so far forward. And the first Nexus turret goes down. Second going to go down too. It's a 3v4. They have to make a stand here. unless Team Baby decides to back up, but they're actually going to look for this top third inhibitor right here. The base is in tatters. All that is left is the Nexus for HBK. And I think it's going to be a back and then just a victory march down mid to try to end this for Baby.
Yeah, I mean, something I want to highlight during that whole fight was that even though Luru was the one to kind of instigate it by going in, just walking forward, creating some space for the ADC and Fang over Fang doing the damage, the star player in that fight in my mind was actually the Janna. As you said, Fang over Fang wasn't being hit in the front line despite him being in the front line, but it was Valkyrie's Q tornado that was actually able to knock them up the back line for 3 seconds before, so they weren't even able to attack. That's what really swung the fight in Team Beep-Boop's favor.
Yeah, that really helped out, and I think Luru, he overestimated or underestimated just how much damage that HBK can put out. And Jaffe actually, he finds the Nautilus. He's gonna try to taunt it. Hecarim's not even gonna try to help. He's like, okay, friend, you're dead. Goodbye. See you later. See you back in the fountain. The Nautilus going to get out of there, and now the march down mid begins. They actually might wait a moment. Baron up in 13 seconds. They might just want to make sure they put the stamp on this game. They want to make sure that they have everything under control going into this final push. And HBK, you have to make a stand at this point. You have to fight for this Baron. You cannot let a third Baron go for free to Team Baby, and it's going down so fast. They're not even looking to contest it.
I mean, at this point, you really can't contest it if you haven't pushed out the bot wave beforehand prior. The minion waves would just end the game. To be honest, Team Beep-Boop, if they didn't want to coin flip it, they could have just ended the game if they wanted to. But I mean, just getting the third Baron to secure it, get this win in, is really just what they're looking for.
Yeah, and it's just, it feels though, like, you know, when I see a team go down, like, yeah, they might be 10K down, but like, you got to make a last stand somewhere. If you like, yeah, you're probably going to lose this game, but at least try something. Try to make a play happen. Try to grab something from the jaws of try to grab victory from the jaws of defeat. And this is the point they're going to have to stand. They have to fight right here. There's nothing else left to give up except the Nexus. Victor going solo. Future getting down to the killing spree for the Janna, and the fight breaks out. Cheetah gets super low. Double kill for the Janna. Elise grabs a kill, and that's going to be the game. Team Baby taking it 15-4.
Yeah, I mean, despite the mess of an early game from both teams, the ones that come out top, surprisingly, is Team Baby. While I don't like their draft, I really did like their macro decisions and how they were able to catch up and kind of just slowly choke out HBK off of their mistakes.
Yeah, they did an absolutely excellent job at doing that. They capitalized on the inactivity. They capitalized on the seemingly split calls in fights, the split decisions from HBK. They took advantage of every single one of those, and it paid off. Like you said, like you were talking about earlier, this comp, it was a very strange comp. We didn't see like where the pieces fit together, except in a very specific circumstance. And Baby played that specific circumstance so well. It was great. It was actually really fantastic to watch.
Yeah, it was more of an exciting game than I was expecting coming from Baby. I thought Baby was just going to get rolled over due to the draft difference, but they showed up today, and I really enjoyed that.
And look at that damage coming out from these players. The Victor doing a lot, same with the Sivir for HBK, but the Hecarim, just unfortunate damage. He actually had less damage than the Janna on Baby. I mean, to be fair, that Janna just was murdering people left and right with those W's. I know when I play Janna, that's how I like to steal them. You throw a bird at it and take the kill. But massive damage numbers, 80 carry mid for both these teams, doing super like a lot of work. But like as a whole, Baby's team, like it worked out. Every one of them was putting in out in the fight in terms of damage. If one of them fell, cool. There's still someone else there to help finish off a target.
Yeah, I mean, some last thoughts onto both teams. I think that Team HBK had a magnificent draft. There could have been some better things to pick up, but that also becomes with the players' champions pool restrictions. I want to see more emphasis on learning some more macro and micro plays where I think they really fell behind. Or in the latter part, where I think Baby needs a better draft, and that'll come with experience and matchups. Maybe they're just playing what's comfortable. I do think they had better macro and micro by a landslide. These teams are looking like to be polar opposites right now.
Yeah, and going into this, like you said, HBK was 2-0, Baby was 0-2. We thought this was going to be a lot wider of a farther apart match, or it be more one-sided in the other direction than it was. But you know, Baby takes the win. They move to 1-2, and this to be the comeback. This is the moment where they remember the 0-2 and just go on a 12-game winning streak.
It's definitely could be happening in the near future right now.
Yes, and with that, we're going to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an interview.
What makes you an exception?
Welcome back, folks. Chris Edgeworth again on the interview desk. I am joined by Team Babies, Team Beep Boops, mid laner Luru joining us after that win. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good to get on the board.
There you go, the big dub. So going into that game, you wouldn't have been able to hear it because you're in the game, but the draft was heavily panned from your team. Didn't really expect it to get off the ground. What was the plan coming into this with this draft?
I'll be honest, we didn't have much of a plan. We were just sort of, I guess our jungler wanted the early game jungler to not feel like really useless, and to fight back. And it was a little bit weird, but it worked out in the end.
And for you, I'm guessing Anivia is some kind of comfort, or that's just
Yeah, Anivia's a comfort pick. That's why I picked her. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, you played it immaculately. There was a lot of success there. A lot of good work with the walls there, especially like getting the wall and then just trapping them in your ultimate. That was good. So in the middle of the game there, we saw once there had been a little bit of pressure put onto the enemy team's bot lane, or they'd been pressuring your bot lane rather. They opted into switching the Victor down bottom and bringing their mid lane, or their bot lane into the mid lane to deal with you. How did you feel about that lane swap and sort of where it led for the game?
I mean, I was fine with the lane swap. I felt like the idea behind it was fine. They just executed it very poorly. I feel like the Nautilus should have done more instead of just sat mid. Sivir just matches my wave clear, so we cancel each other out. But yeah, if they played it better, it would have been better. But they messed up, and so we were able to take control of the game because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before out here. You know, when it comes to things like that, a throw it takes two people. It takes the thrower and the person catching it. I think you did a good job of recognizing what was going on, because I had the same thoughts about, like, okay, this is cool. Like, I thought it was a good play in the moment, but then it didn't materialize into any plays after that by opening up the middle of the map and having this flexibility.
Yeah, they didn't like use their two people to like go for objectives as well. While we had two people in the bot lane, they could have played around Rift more.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like you said, coming into this, feels good to be on the board. You guys are now 1 and 2. Tomorrow you're against Ruby Light Up Slippers. How you feeling about that matchup?
I feel pretty good. I don't want to underestimate Ruby, but I feel like we'll destroy them.
There you go. Dude,
yeah, pretty clean game.
Hey, you put your marker down. I love it. You know, you heard it here first, folks. It's going to be a clean and easy game tomorrow from Lura. So, Lura, thank you for joining us for the interview. Really appreciate it. Any final thoughts?
I look forward to playing some more games and having people lose their bets.
There you go.
We're going to beat some top teams and make people very upset about betting against us.
Yeah, you got to put those casino degenerates in their place. Let them know what's up. So that was awesome today. Great work, Luru. Great work by Team Baby to pull out that win. Folks, we will be right back. We'll be back in about 15-20 minutes with our next game. So don't touch that browser. We'll be back soon.